Today we are joined by JFA coach Martin Cassidy.
I signed for Celtic Boys Club, which would now be called an academy, but when I was 10 and stayed there to 14. And he inspired me to get into coaching, Mickey Potter, when I seen him giving up his own time for a group of kids year after year. One of the biggest tests and biggest challenges I've overcome is the negative noise and big grey cloud that we had over the GFA senior team and job and players and how it all went. I pick a lot of guys because their temperament's good. They're good in the ball, and then you watch them playing in games. Like if I look at Yunus Mon, I won't mention names because it's not fair, but with certain players just panicking in possession, and it was we're playing against a team we're better than. You're playing against a player you're better than. The only person that's putting you under pressure at the moment is yourself. Respect the semi-final of the Marathi and go there and do Jersey proud. That's what we've all got to aim for. The German coaching staff was 18 coaching staff. Me and Paul Renton were in the dugout.
Yeah.
And we were better in every department than them. As I say, they're a great group of guys and a great group of players to work with. The senior ones in particular have been brilliant for me. I just feel if we can get the group stages, we'll go the whole way. I think that's what they need.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sportscast Jersey. Today we are joined by JFA coach Martin Cassidy. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you doing?
Good stuff. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Before we go into the JFA business, I wanted to talk a bit about you first. And where did your love of football first come about?
Oh gosh, 51 now, so you take me back a bit. Well, I think back in our day, there was nothing else but football, or, you got a ball for Christmas and a pair of football boots, they lasted you the year. So, there wasn't many things that kids have got today to have interests in. So, yeah, we all played, all my friends. I lived in an area where there was loads of friends and a big school and a football pitch, and that's where we spent our days. And then when I was down at my grand's at the weekends, I would be out there in the Gorbals playing with all the older kids, and something you don't see a lot, well, any of at all, but I'd be 13 playing with 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and that's a school of hard knocks, but you don't even realise it at the time. And it's an interesting point because when we played, we never get coached the way the coaching now, people go, the coaching not good enough. Coaches are putting sessions on, they're taking time, they're putting drills on, they're planning a session. None of that ever happened back in our day. You turned up, played with your mates, tried not to get injured, and run as fast as you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the whole world was crazy on football 40 years ago, and growing up, there was not everyone wanted to be a footballer, but and I was no different. I was fortunate enough that a lot of my friends were all keen footballers and good footballers as well. So we just challenged each other, and it was the happy childhood, definitely bringing up with a lot of good football memories.
Yeah, how good were you, and what kind of position was your favourite to play in?
Oh. I was a slow developer, actually. I started off at left wing. I signed for Celtic Boys Club, which would now be called an academy, but when I was 10 and stayed there to 14. And I came out of there as a left winger, but I was always slow, but I had a good touch. And because I was slow, I had to move the ball fast and I had to really develop my vision and quick passing, because if not, I'd get caught in possession and then have to chase back. So it was important I knew what was going on. So the new words now is scanning and awareness and stuff like that. But back then it was just don't get caught in the ball, move it quick or you're going to get halved.
Yeah.
So it was quite a good school of hard knocks, and it taught me a lot, and it did help me as I progressed. But one of the things I do now and I really love, and it's my happy place, is coaching junior kids, and with my futsal as well, coaching a lot of kids and really helping them and breaking the game down and trying to get them to use their heads and use their brains as well as their bodies, because as you get older, football's all in the head. It's 80% a mind game, and you need your legs as your tools to get around the pitch. But it's no surprise the smartest footballers in the world are the best ones.
Yeah, for sure. You touched on your coaching there. When did you first begin coaching, and when did you find the love for that?
Oh, that's an interesting one because I never in a million years. I'm the poacher come gamekeeper big time because I'm sure people at Pat Brennan will give you a good insight, Kev McCarthy maybe, but in terms of local guys. But I gave everything to football up till I was about 16. And I didn't think I was going to be anything but a footballer. And I did make it into the professional game, but I thought I'd done enough then. I didn't realise that was just the start. And when I was in the game, I mean, at 16, I was playing reserve football against England internationals, Polish internationals at Celtic, Rangers, Alan McCoy, Dean Durant. These guys were all playing reserve football, maybe coming back from injury or getting some game sharpness in. But that was just the norm. You know, you rocked up and you're playing Rangers today, you're playing Celtic, you're up at Dundee, you're going to Falkirk. I didn't know any different. So to me, it was just a normal thing. And the first time I actually came out of that network was coming to Jersey, and I had to buy my own boots. I had to pay a membership fee for the year. And I'm like, really? Is this what happens?
Yeah.
Not criticising it. It's just the levels, isn't it? You come out of a football world, even at the bottom where I was, it still ran properly. It was still the games you played against week in, week out. I mean, nearly 100 reserve games playing against those type of teams and travelling all over Scotland. And we just took it as the norm. I mean, I don't even know how I done it. When I look back, it's funny. My friend emailed me the other day, texted me the other day just to say, did you used to have an old Ford Cortina car? Which I did. And it fit about 18 in it. It was a big, huge car. And I used to drive all over Scotland. And it was only the other day I was thinking about that. Took me everywhere, that big thing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of really good football experiences, played with a lot of brilliant players and probably played against brilliant players more than I played with, if I'm honest. So yeah, I had a lot of great experiences, but I was a slow developer definitely as a younger player. Always had a good ability, and I think that's why now I'm saying to kids that I'm working with at 10, 11, 12, you're just not there yet, but you're on the right path and you're 60% there. Just keep working at it, repeating what you're doing, and you'll get there. And you get some that are just freak of natures, like Luke Harris was just an incredible footballer from the age of 8 all the way through. And I think it's worth mentioning on the Mickey Porter Sunday football. He had that for 10, and he inspired me to get into coaching, Mickey Porter, when I seen him giving up his own time for a group of kids year after year. I mean, I remember taking my son there, and he was 4, and Craig Russell, Luke Watson, Stuart Andre, all those players would tell me that Mickey Porter did the exact same thing for them nearly 20 odd years ago. And it blew me away really when his kid's not there. He's not got any connection through family, and yet his love of the game was enthusiastic. It gave me a lot of enthusiasm. He was enthusiastic to just help the kids and create somewhere for them to play. And unfortunately, when he stopped, it was like, oh, that's a huge legacy now stopped. And we see the benefit of a lot of those players that I mentioned there. They were all top end players. So I think it's important that when you stop playing, you get your ego dusted down and you get back into coaching. And whatever age, if it's juniors, minis, seniors, girls, boys, whatever it is, get involved in it because you've grown up with it. It's in your DNA and it is a big part of your life. It shouldn't take over your life though, which I have let it do at times. But oh yeah, we are where we are with it all. But it's such a good game, and there's so many opinions of it. Kids love it, and the one thing now as a coach I'm looking at is probably the parent-child relationship and making that a happy one rather than it being a frustrating one. The car journey home, for example, parents need to be really aware of that and making sure that they don't just ruin their child on the way home because they think they're being helpful by giving them all of their thoughts.
Yeah.
So I love all that side of it. I think a lot of it, I never get any of the things that I'm now sort of focusing on to help people learn. Even senior players here, they've not been taught properly. They need to open up their minds and realise that you can do things a little bit better. Your technique can get a little bit more consistent. You can make less mistakes if you think about it. And I think it's just explaining it to them in a way that they can realise you try to help them rather than criticise them for doing something wrong.
Yeah, definitely. When did the Jersey FA job come up? When did you get that job, and how pleased were you that you did get the job as well? How's the experience been?
Well, I did apply for the job and didn't get it. Jimmy Riley got the job. So I was a bit disappointed in that because I thought with my CV I was the perfect person at that time for a home Island games as well. But Jimmy came in and took it then. It did leave a bitter taste in my mouth at the time. And I thought, well, maybe it's just not for me because probably 20 years ago, you wouldn't have said I was going to be a coach of anything. You wouldn't have gave me any responsibility, probably. Maybe a bit longer than 20 years, but you wouldn't have gave me I wouldn't have shown the responsibility that it takes to do the job, just at coaching level. And I'll tell you a funny story. I mean, I don't know if Brian Oliver will remember, but when I did my coaching badges, the very first one I did, my drill on my assignment to get my pass was turning.
Yeah.
Simple turning drill, like just get the ball and turn. And because I was such a clever footballer, I didn't think you had to break down how to control it, how to pass it. I didn't understand breaking down, stopping the ball, receiving the ball. I didn't get it. I just thought you just do that.
Yeah.
But that to me had to be broken down, and sometimes into 3 and 4 steps, sometimes into 4 and 5 steps.
Yeah.
So when I did my level 1, I couldn't get my head round turning. I thought, well, you just turn, and then
Yeah.
But how do you turn? I was like, I could not get it. And I didn't pass my level 1 because I froze on that point, not because I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand the steps that I had to go through to explain it. And that was a massive learning curve. And it took me 3-4 years after that to still really put into practice. And it wasn't until I became a dad and had a son and realised as a parent that the way you've got to educate your child, you've got to educate yourself first so you know how to speak to them. And then I used a lot of those disciplines to go back into coaching and trying to be the best coach I could be, but also wanting to be a good dad as well and be the best dad. You don't want to ruin your son. You want to enjoy that pathway with them. And yeah, if I can help do that, then I know that'll be a massive happy moment for people, because for me, football needs to be my happy place. It's the main thing in my life at the moment, along with work and futsal. So yeah, I want to enjoy it. I want to be around people that are happy. One of the biggest tests and biggest challenges I've overcome is the negative noise and big grey cloud that we had over the GFA senior team and job and players and how it all went. And we worked hard to get through that, and we're now in a really good place. Everybody's desperate to play for Jersey again, and certainly in big cup games it is a challenge mid-season to get players with Jersey Bulls going for the league as well. But one thing I'm really proud of is I've got a group of players and the group below and the 21s, the 18. We're all connected. Coaches at the centre and seniors, we're all connected. And I think the benefit of that is you get a real good thread going through the whole structure, pathway, whatever way you want to label it. And everyone's learning and helping each other, learning from each other as well, which is good. So yeah, the Jersey job is good for me because it's not every weekend, although I'm out watching games most weekends just to keep my eye on players. But it's not running a club every weekend, which I know can be really challenging.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the experiences that have come with the Jersey job, starting from the Interleague Cup win, going to St George's, winning that cup. How good was that? Well, that run, which was kind of delayed because of COVID, but also that day at St George's Park.
Well, the run it came out of nowhere in terms of we thought the tournament was dead and buried, but fair play English FA wanted to finish it, but I think they thought Jersey would pull out because Jersey had to pay for their own transport. So they probably thought, we'll offer it, Jersey will pull out, we'll be fine. And fair play at the JFA board, and Dave Kennedy said, no, we want to go for it. And it was like pop-up football, wasn't it? Because COVID was there. You could only train in isolated areas, a lot of tactic boards. But what was really good about that time was players had to listen because there wasn't a lot of practical stuff going on because of so you got a real opportunity for them to get to know you and show them that the plans and the way you were thinking of playing was for their benefit, to make them better. The other team's good, so if we can try and capitalise on some of their weaknesses, whether it's they switch off at set pieces or they've got a slow left back. And my job and their job as coaches is to try and find out the weaknesses and get the players in the team that we think can go and capitalise on them. So, yeah, the GFA job now is in a really good position, whether you're the senior manager, 21s, 18s, all the way down to, the grassroots. We're in a good space. I think, everyone, in terms of the structure of it, definitely, but we all want more games. We all want more opportunity to play. But Jersey FA certainly had a lot of games over the last couple of years. And I've said since I took the job that the Interleague Cup is your games programme. So if you get knocked out in the first round, don't blame everybody for not having a games programme. And crazily, we had some side when I took over. I mean, it would be a good debate to see who would win that team v this team. But yeah, they're two different beasts. One team was full of great players, but a lot of ego. The other team's full of great players, and maybe don't have the killer instinct that the other ones had, the originals had. But they did pass on a lot of good things. They did show a way of winning. They did show how to be the best. You got to work hard and stuff. So the current players have learnt a lot from them. They're just a great group. I've got 20 players, and I think I could pick from probably 30 because there's a lot of decent players around. And there's not a great gap between them all, I don't think. It's all who can actually go and follow the game plan and not bottle it on the day, really, and have the bravery to make decisions and be composed in big high pressure games.
Yeah. Talking about high pressure games, Alderney, how excited are you for that game? How's the preparation going as well?
Okay, so we're looking forward to the game. It's a challenging trip, that, it's a hard one to get up for. If we go back actually to the St George's Park game that we spoke about in terms of Italy and stuff, could we go back to that a second? Because what I want to call out, the FA put a lot of effort in, and we went to St George's Park. So that in itself, you get excited for something like that, right? And the facility was phenomenal. It's where England trained. We trained on the pitch next to the main. Everything was really ticked every box. So it really did. Our players reacted to that, responded to it, and were at a different level. And I think Jersey players against top sides are better than they are against weaker teams or stubborn teams that are just going to put 10 behind the ball. We don't seem to have found a way to take care of that yet, but that's that. Once we can master how to beat these stubborn teams, then we can all move forward. My FA team, I'm sure the Bulls in the UK are trying to do that just now, just trying to kill games off against teams on they go shake their head and think, how are we not beating them? And I'm the same.
Do you think it's a mentality thing there? How do you get the players up for those sort of games?
Well, no, they're up for it. They're talented enough, they're technically good enough, they're fit enough, they've got all the tools. I think mentally what we don't have is the big game experiences where you have to do enough to win it, keeping the ball under pressure, not just playing it up the pitch because you don't want to make a mistake. Doing the things you pick for. I pick a lot of guys because their temperament's good, they're good in the ball, and then you watch them playing in games. Like if I look at Yunus Mon, I won't mention names because it's not fair, but with certain players just panicking in possession. And it was, we're playing against a team we're better than. You're playing against a player you're better than. The only person that's putting you under pressure at the moment is yourself. So once we master that, and once the players master that, but I think we need to look at it. It's definitely a thing, the emotional intelligence on game days and big high pressure moments. They need to stay calm. Don't try and do anything different. Don't try and set the world on fire, because we didn't pick you to do that. We picked you to come in because your touch is good, your passing's good. And I think when Jersey players are at their best, it's short combination passes, playing through the lines. They've done it their whole careers, and now we're getting into a little bit more of a panic, go long, let's play off the scraps. And one thing for sure, I won't be playing that way, and we won't be playing that way, because if we're going to lose games against those type of teams, it's because they're better than us, not because we're panicking or unlucky. This unlucky label needs to go, because you're unlucky once or twice, but once it's 6, 7, 8, you're not unlucky. You're doing something wrong. So I've looked at that. I've got our boys to such an amazing point a few times, and I think in North Macedonia, the worst of the three, but still good.
Yeah.
Worst of the three. It's probably the weakest team out of the three other teams that we played. but they had 4 or 5 outstanding footballers. You know, the centre midfield number 10 was just never took more than one touch. I don't think, just popped it every time he got it. So they weren't rubbish players, they weren't a bad team, and they were A-licensed coaches, 10 deep on the bench. So you're playing against an organisation that don't want to lose. I mean, it meant the North Macedonian team, this is to give you, remember, we're Jersey, coming from a small island. North Macedonia got there and they time waste from the first whistle. Yeah. From the first by kick, they stopped. They wanted a draw now. You go back to the game against Innsmouth in Wales. Their manager came to me and says, we're not crossing the halfway line today. A draw suits us. And, well, tongue in cheek, by the way, it wasn't like, let's try and set up something. It was more or less to say, if we both draw, we're through to the next round. And I went, well, okay, I understand how you're looking at it, but we're here to win every match. But I did say to the players, we don't, we go out today, we just don't lose. Simple as that. We don't lose. And if they don't score and we don't score, we're into the next round and we regroup and go again. But again, something there was like, follow that simple instruction, and we scored an own goal in Wales. It wasn't as if they cut us open. They ran up the pitch, crossed it, and we kicked it in the back of our own net with no player in the box. So I think those moments in games, I mean, those games we've lost, we still have probably 70-80% possession. We just don't have the goal, or we don't go and get that goal. And we're planned, we're organised, we've got set pieces, we've got everything in the locker. And yeah, I think once we master that, Jersey will go to the next level. And I think the quicker we can get it done as well. I don't know if it needs to be addressed with a football psychiatrist or psychologist, just to understand that side of the game, because we are amateurs, we are trying to learn. And if there is a thing there that helps our elite players make those decisions on those big games, then we should look at it.
Yeah, sure. And obviously, the next big game is Alderney, and how important is it just to go there, get the job done?
That's what it's all about, really. Get there, get the job done. I've been twice. I now fully understand. The first game was 90 miles of wind. Never felt anything or seen anything like it. Ewan would take a goal kick, and 3 or 4 of them went back over his own crossbar. I've came from Scotland, played all over Scotland, up the north, and I've never seen that. So that was a freak game, and we went 1-0 down. We ended up winning 2-1. So we got the job done, but I panicked there and went, that's a lottery here. You especially the way we were playing, we were ball down, let's try and play. And then the second game, I realised I need dribblers, so we brought Jaco in. We had players, and Jaco scored the first goal, dribbled through and scored. And I thought, right, that's what you need to do against Alderney. Ball on the floor, keep it low, and go and attack, playing their half basically. And so I know what to do for this game coming up. You just hope we don't have any crazy wins, and we can go there and put a good professional performance in. We need to score early, take control of the game early, and get the job done as quick as possible. But what I would love to see happen is whether it'll be in my time or not, but what we should be doing is we should be rotating at Alderney. We should be coming to Jersey, going to Guernsey. It'd be good for their players, good for their fans as well to see an Alderney Jersey game. And I think in the future it should happen, whatever circumstances are stopping it from happening. But we need to move with the times. I would much prefer to be paying for Alderney to come here to play at Springfield in a full house. But instead, we're going to get trains, planes, and automobiles, and a relay swim for the rest of the ride. So again, that it's that type of thing that's not very good. But if anyone's watching today and can get us to Alderney better than planes and boats and 4-hour trip, then please get in touch with me or Dave Kennedy.
Yeah, for sure.
But, it is a factor. I mean, we are grassroots, but that's one hell of a journey to get to Alderney for a big fixture. But yeah, let's not get involved in that. The office are dealing with it. They've done a good job getting us there. They've tried every which way, but the position we're in now, we're flying and we're getting a boat. So flying to Guernsey, then boat to Alderney. So once we get rid of that, we will and get there, we get the job done. And hopefully we've got everyone fit. There's a lot of games before that. I've picked a provisional squad and I've reached out to the players just to confirm their availability just now. Hopefully I have that all back Saturday afternoon, and then we can move forward. But Your original question was, how's the preparation going? I struggle with this game at mid-season with the Bulls fixtures, local fixtures. There's a lot of guys playing 2 or 3 games a week at the minute. So really I have to just sit back and watch and just hope all my players are fit. I think the week building up to Alderney will have, and I'm looking at with Paul Renton what we can put in place and what's, because you have to watch, you don't overload the players, right? They're all training with their clubs twice a week, and Bulls playing 3 times a week. So I don't want to overload players, and that's the way I've done it the last few years, and it's not ideal. I'd rather have a 1 month camp, train them twice or once a week, and get some set plays and get some patterns of play in, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, or we're going to be able to do that as well as we'd like for Alderney, but certainly for the Marathi, when we beat Alderney, or if we beat Alderney, or when the Marathi will have a good games preparation. We've got the training booked already. We know we've got what sessions we're going to do, and we'll look forward to that. But let's get to Alderney, get the job done, and try and score some goals as well. We've been 2-1, and was it 1-0, I think, or 2-0, 2-1, 2-0. And I think Guernsey only won 1-0, didn't they?
It's been tighter the last few years, yeah.
And they've played in the Guernsey League still, so I'm not going to go over there. I never took anything for granted before. I've maybe been over with a little bit, poor Guernsey, and Alderney, sorry, but I'm not doing that this time. I want to go over there and just it's all about Jersey and what we're going to do, and respect the semi-final of the Marathi, and go there and do Jersey proud. That's what we've all got to aim for.
Yeah, for sure. And then the Island Games is coming up this summer as well. You've mentioned the previous Island Games and the disappointment. Is that going to be on the minds of you and the players going into it and making sure?
It's on my mind, definitely. We need to get out the groups. And the home Island Games didn't get out the groups. It's just, it's a mentality. But the best football inside. I don't think I've ever been complimented more on my Jersey team than what we've had over the last 3 years. Like everywhere, even in Germany, Italy against Germany, the German coaching staff was 18 coaching staff. Me and Paul Renton were in the dugout.
Yeah.
And we were better in every department than them. We were professional, we were organised, and our game plan was perfect. And it tells me that we're meticulous in getting the players ready. And it's that little mind thing that we need to get them, that little bit. So I'm going to focus on that. Menorca is probably our toughest game in that group. We don't know about the new island it's in, and we should win our other games. So we want to win all 3. I mean, people go, that's unlucky. You were beat by goal difference. You had a strange rule that meant that we couldn't get the 13 goals we scored against one team didn't count, and we get knocked out in goal difference. And it's like, that's been unlucky, but we need to take care of them. I don't want to be unlucky anymore. I want us to go out because we weren't good enough, or to get beat by a better team and not get beat because we're unlucky and you are doing really well. We need to stop being nice and in their moments. And I think the players have learned from each disappointment, but the biggest challenge we get at the Jersey FA team is the gap between each major competition. So bringing that momentum back isn't always easy, but as I say, they're a great group of guys and a great group of players to work with. The senior ones in particular have been brilliant for me. It's refreshing to have a group of senior guys that really care and respect everything that happens, and that's really good to have that in the dressing room, and they set good examples. And we've got great young players coming in, and I'm really excited. The under-21 team at the minute that's coming through. The players, I think it was 7 or 8 at uni, but they're playing at a really good level. James Sunley's just been picked for the England University, I think, which is great for him. There was another lad picked. I haven't worked with him before, but I believe there's another centre back out there playing. Toby Rixner's playing step 3 and 4. Harry Curtis, Darrow, and James Carr are all playing good levels. And if I've missed anybody out, I apologise. But there's a lot of talented young players playing at a good level, week in, week out. Remember, not every now and again, week in, week out, and testing themselves. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how those boys shape up, and I'm hopeful that a good group of those 21s are going to really push the senior players for a place, because we've went there with a tried and tested group. and we've not managed to get there. I've failed. The players haven't failed. They've just not managed to get there, and I've not got the formula right. So I hope if we beat Alderney and Guernsey, I'm still the manager, and then we can go to the Island Games and everything we've learnt. Hopefully, we can take it forward and help us get the wins. We need to get out of the group stages. I just feel if we can get out of the group stages, we'll go the whole way. I think that's what they need. That prove it to yourselves that you're good enough, and then let's just go out and demonstrate how good we are.
Yeah, for sure. And how much do you enjoy coaching these sort of games? Obviously, I'll touch on like the Marathi last year. We won 1-0. It was maybe not our finest performance, but defensively it was superb, I thought. How much did you enjoy, or do you enjoy these big games?
I love match day. I love it. I love it. I love everything about football on the pitch. That's your happy place. I love the being on the coaching side, even if Paul's leading the session and I'm just keeping an eye and oversight on everything, or if I'm in there working on things. I love it. I really, really enjoy it. Give me a Friday night in the pub or a Friday night coaching for 3 hours and I'm on the pitch every time. So that's my happy place. But I don't get enough time with the Jersey players, if I'm honest with you. I just get them in a short space of time. But I think what we have done when we've had them, we've shown that we can get a tune out of them. The Marathi game last year, I knew we weren't going to be expansive. I knew we weren't going to have loads of the ball. You got to remember, Guernsey FC are playing in a league where they're having to defend for their lives every single game.
Yeah.
And they've done that, and they've really performed well the last few weeks in terms of result-wise anyway. So they're made of a different stuff. If you think Jersey players that are playing for Bulls, for example, they're winning most of their games. Local top players at St. Peter's, Grooville, St. Juan's, they're winning most of their games. So when you play against Guernsey, who aren't doing that, and their attitude is we're not going to lose no matter what.
Yeah,
it's that mindset that we need to get as well. We need to match that and then run more than them. And that's what we said last year. We'll have moments, and we worked on that cutback. We worked on lawn peeling off the back post. And don't get me wrong, we worked on a load of other things, and they didn't come off. But it was just the decision making of players to make sure we don't just whip balls into the box. Hopefully, let's try and be right when you get it there. You're going to run that and be connected and join the players up. So in that last third, we can try and be clinical and. I thought we were brilliant. The defending, the goalkeeper, Ewan was outstanding. Kerry and Cam, the back four in particular were all great. But I knew it was a defensive game, and it's easier to coach your team to defend. Believe me, to just sit and be compact. That's an easier coaching session to put on. It's an easier game plan. So we did that with counter-attacks. We knew Princey was going to be a big threat, and they were going to get slow towards the end of the game at the back. And we totally caught them out with that. Over the years, we've been by far the better footballing team and won. But our best game against Guernsey's probably been the game we did lose 2-1 when they scored 2 goals in 15 minutes and then shut up shop.
Yeah.
So I find it's a little bit hypocritical. Last year they said we were shocking, we defended, when the year before, that year in particular, I don't think they crossed the halfway line. They defended brilliantly, and I complimented them on that.
Yeah.
This year is going to be a challenge for us to be able to get up to a level to play a step forward group of players. But that's the challenge, and I'm excited about that and looking forward to picking my whips against Tony Vance and trying to, if we beat Alderney, then trying to go and beat Guernsey in the Marathi and set us up for a really good Island Games. But it's going to be a challenge, and we are the underdogs all the time, even although we are winning the last 4.
Definitely. That's all my questions today, Cass. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Good luck with the fixtures coming up. It's a big few months, and it's really exciting for Jersey football.
Yeah, a lot of good games coming up. Good luck to all the players. Hope you stay fit. I hope you win everything you're involved in, or at least do your best to do that. And thank you for listening today and invite me on. And hopefully it was a good little session to listen to. But anytime, love talking about football, as you can imagine.
Yeah, brilliant, Cass. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, mate. Have a good day. Thank you.
Cheers. That was Sportscast Jersey with Martin Cassidy. Another episode is coming soon.